Atlanta's Morning News.
That's funny.
That is funny. It is funny, Ludlow. Artie, Barney's low-life half-brother. It kind of reminds you of maybe our president.
Oh, maybe you and my family. You can't tell me.
Or mine, Ludlow. Or mine.
You take care of yourself,
Have a good one, Ludlow.
Buddy, good to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Murphy, North Carolina, and Kenny. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning.
How's it going, buddy?
Great.
Good.
You know, I hate to contradict people, but, well, who am I kidding? I love to contradict people.
That's your life, isn't it?
I'm telling you. That's what I live for.
All right.
Gentleman that called before and posed the question to you if you knew where the term Jeep came from.
Yeah.
Well, you're partially right, but partially wrong. It did come out of the initials GP for General Purpose Vehicle.
Did you swallow the line about that being from Popeye?
Uh-huh. That's where it originally appeared.
I hate to
and that's when they made the association with G and P.
I hate to contradict you. No,
you don't.
No, like like all of these things, they're generally a couple of different stories, like the Kilroy. Where did Kilroy come from and that sort of thing?
Uh-huh.
Both of them are good stories, but the GP thing always just made more sense. You know what I'm going to do? In renovating my 1943 Jeep, I got a lot of literature, so we'd make sure we put this thing back just right.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to see if I can find something on that. The way to find that out is about dates. If I can find out what date the Jeep character appeared in Popeye, that'll give us a good lead.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure. I know Popeye's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I had a band instructor in high school whose father did the percussion sounds for the Popeye cartoon.
Oh, really?
And I know it's been around for a long time. Supposedly they credit the Popeye cartoon with the term goon, too.
Yeah, I think that's right.
For Alan the Goon, who was the one who was always in love with Popeye.
I'm going to do a little checking. That'd be an interesting project.
Definitely. Now, is that a military Jeep you have?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is.
And to see it, it's up at Jasper Jeep. I got it on the showroom floor up there. To see it, you would never know it had ever been on the road.
Wow.
We put it back with all the original stuff. I had to have a top made for it because but the top I had made was the original specifications. It's just got the original little choke buttons and lights with the whole thing.
The old military switches and everything?
Yep.
You know, it's funny. The Jeeps of today, I remember watching Combat. That's about as close as I came to some of those old military Jeeps. But watching Combat, some of those old television and war movies of that genre from the 50s and 60s, the Jeeps today just don't have that whine like those Jeeps had. That was a great sound they made.
But they didn't have air conditioning. I got to go, big boy. I'm out of time.
Have a nice one.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
You're in the Ludlow Zone, listening to the best of Ludlow Porch. We'll get back to Ludlow and his wacky friends right after we get the 5-day forecast from WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish.
Dangerous heat wave conditions will continue. Any thunderstorm that pops up in the heat wave would be heavy or strong. Forecast for tonight, mainly clear, warm and muggy, some patchy light fog and a low around 76. For tomorrow, hazy sunshine, blazing steam bath humidity, highs near 100, lows around 76. The extended forecast, Tuesday through Friday, partly sunny, continued hot, a thunderstorm possible by Thursday and Friday, highs 95, lows 75. Recapping the forecast for the overnight hours, mainly clear and warm, a low about 76. I'm meteorologist Kirk Mellish in the AM-750 WSB Weather Center.
Thanks, Kirk. Right now, WSB color radar is clear. Relative humidity is 63%. Winds are from the northwest, 7 miles an hour. Barometer holding steady all night, 30.06. At 3:32, the temperature on Peachtree Street, 82 degrees. Coming up later on Atlanta's Morning News, DeKalb County mulls over adopting a curfew for young people. Atlanta's had a similar law for 2 years. We're going to take a look at how it's been working to keep teenagers off the street and out of trouble. We'll get some insight on how Georgians feel about the president's tax and budget plan. U.S. Senator Paul Coverdell has done some polling on whether or not we think it will really lower the deficit. He'll join us live with the results. The Braves finally complete the trade for Fred McGriff. We'll talk about how soon we can put that power hitter to work for us. And could we hit 100 again today? WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish will be along live to let you know how long the heat wave will hang in there. Bill Rosinski will have the sports, so join us at 5 a.m. for Atlanta's Morning News. Scott Slade, Bob Cox, Marcy Williams, Richard Sangster. Don't miss a minute of Atlanta's Morning News. Good morning, everyone, and remember, the best of Ludlow Porch is a tape broadcast, so when you hear the number, don't call, because Ludlow's not here to take your call right now.
The kid looked like his face had been used for a punching bag. Cigarette burns all over his arms and legs. Those are the ones that would go away. I felt my eyes tear up. How could somebody do that to a kid? Their own kid. That was my initiation into the Center for Abused Children. I remember thinking, I don't know if I can handle this. What do I say? Hey, how you doing? Like, I don't know the answer. I mean, what can I do for a kid whose own parents beat him? Well, turns out you don't have to do anything but care. That just happens. I'll tell you, when you get a kid like that to finally smile, well...
This is Craig's story. He's one of the little answers to the big problems facing every community in America. And because there are more people than problems, things will get done. All you have to do is something. Call your local volunteer center or the Points of Light Foundation at 1-800-677-7309. Do something good. Feel something real. A message from the Ad Council.
It is legendary. An arena circled by angry sea and shrouded in mystery. A playing field where mental and physical obstacles abound. One by one, they come to compete, to prove they belong. But victory will not be measured in captured squares and thrown pieces. Victory will belong to those who first master the power of the mind. For this is not a game. This is Marine Corps Boot Camp, the place where the wisdom of over 200 years is handed down to a privileged few, where the body is transformed and the power of the mind sharpened. If these are qualities you want to develop, call this number.
As we talk to Marshal. Good morning, Marshal.
Good morning, Ludlow.
How are you, my friend?
I think I might make it.
I hope so.
Thank you very much. You got a kind heart. I've got 2 clips for you.
Okay.
Number 1, the local news, channels 2, 5, and 11, collectively.
Now you're talking about Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Okay.
correct. It seems as though they can find nothing new to report except that I have no qualms about the lesbians and the gays. I served in the military for 23 years in the private sector. I have no problems with that. I have no qualms with the abortion thing. But it seems as though everything they have on the news at night collectively is the abortion marches, the gay and lesbian marches, murders. They can't find anything to have news about, but it's a continuation of the same thing 24 hours a day on our station. And I don't know why they can't find anything decent to post. Other than somebody gets killed, they stick a microphone in the mother's mouth and say, how do you feel about your son getting shot just now?
Yeah. Let me tell you if there's a problem there, let me tell you what it is. They report on what we want to hear. Now, I'm sure that saddens you like it saddens a lot of folks. But that's all they're doing. If they reported only the good news, And believe me, I get sick of seeing, the line is, if it bleeds, it leads. And I get sick about hearing about 3 murders, lead stories in the news. But that's what America wants to hear.
Yeah, well, you know, on these things, though, they're not really having any calls. All they want is publicity. And the more you stick the camera in their face, the more they're looking at it. And the more
yeah, you mean like the demonstration?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As long as you got a camera, they're going to scream and holler.
Yeah.
Marshal, makes sense.
You take care of yourself, big guy.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Swainsboro and Effy. Hi, Effy.
Hello?
Hi there.
Hi.
How you doing?
Well, pretty good, I guess.
Good.
I want to tell you about your Connect ice cream. I'm advertising it for you, because I'm a shut-in, AH, and I had to send for my groceries, and a lady buys my groceries for me. She went to get them the other day, and I said, well, get me a carton of some kind of ice cream, the best kind you can find. I've used different kinds, all kinds. And so when she came in, I saw it was cotton that had a different color on it. I said, what kind of ice cream is that? And she looked and read on it, says Connect. I said, well, I didn't know any store here had it. So she said, well, and so when I opened it and tasted it, that is the smoothest, best tasting ice cream I've ever eaten.
Well, bless your heart.
And so I have told several of my friends about it, and they didn't know anything about it, said they'd been using briars and all that. So one of them told me the other day, 2 or 3 of them told me, and I said, now, Barlow doesn't have it here, but Pig the Wigger has it. So I've let them know where to go to find it.
All right, good. I appreciate it.
So, well, could I tell you one thing of my interest?
Sure.
Okay, now, I'm one of the 3 charter members of the oldest garden club in Swainsboro, which was organized over 50 years ago. And they enjoy hearing programs about plants and stuff like that and all,
Yeah.
Well, I know I told you before about my son, but I'll tell you what he did with a backyard garden this summer. He said he had picked 250 pounds of cucumbers and 100 pounds of salad tomatoes out of his backyard garden this summer.
He's fixed to have a big salad, isn't he?
Well, he just loves plants. That started off as a hobby, but he's got 200 lemon trees now, and he's got all that stuff in the backyard. And he's still a state auditor, and he has to travel different states, But when he's home, he's out in that place in that backyard till dark, working with all those plants. And he waters them with that Miracle Grow K-Grow solution of fertilizer real often. And that shows what you can do with something. Now it's about to get out of control. He started as a hobby.
Well, now what he's going to have to do is open up a vegetable business, because it sounds like he's got enough there to feed the world. You take care of yourself. I need to move along, and I'll talk to you soon. Our number is 1-800-572-8255. Ludlow Porch and George, and we're going to have, in just a minute or two, we're going to have our drawing for our allergy-free permanent electrostatic air filter, for our allergy-free air freshener for your car, and for a copy of my new book. So you stick around for that. We're going to take care of some business first, and then have our drawing. So if you have entered, you're interested. If you haven't entered, you say, what's he talking about? I'm going to tell you also, after we announce the winner, I will tell you how you can be eligible for next Friday's drawing. Easy as pie. 1-800-572-8255. It is Friday. It is the day that we kind of open the gate and turn you loose. So we'll talk about whatever is on your mind, whatever gossip going on in your life. We will chat with you about it. Give us a call. 1-800-572-8255.
Want to save at the pump? Get a Comfortmaker heat pump. This is Vince Stuhler reminding you that Comfortmaker heat pumps are built like all Comfortmaker systems, tough and efficient. 92 years of manufacturing experience backs every Comfortmaker heat pump and air conditioning unit. Comfortmaker Ultra units carry a 10-year warranty on the compressor and 5 years on all other parts, and an energy-efficient rating of 12 assures big energy savings over older units. Call your Good Sense dealer and ask about the best Comfortmaker system for your home. And if you're on an EMC line, ask your dealer about incentives from your EMC, including cash rebates and 5% interest loans for heat pumps. Call the Comfortmaker dealer near you and tell them Vince Dooley sent you. Comfortmaker, the name says it all.
Moss Insurance.
Ed, Jim Rose now.
Jim, how are you? How's Judy and the kids?
Great, Ed. Look, I've got a question about my car insurance. How can they expect me to pay this much?
Jim, you're not alone. You're the third person to call this week.
Well, what's the story?
Well, one of the big things is fraud.
I'll say this is fraud.
No. Insurance fraud. All the insurance companies are getting stung by it.
Yeah, and those insurance guys are getting rich off me and blaming the poor guy who makes a penny ante pad on an accident claim.
Not so fast, buddy. It's billions of dollars worth of penny ante. It all adds up to big bucks, and you and I are paying for it.
Well, what do I do about this premium, Ed?
I'll review your coverage, but we've all got to get wise about insurance fraud. I mean, heck, the FBI is starting to bust insurance cheats, and the insurance companies are even banding together to help people report them.
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe I could tell him about that guy down the block with the new Cadillac to replace his totaled Escort.
Hey, Jim?
Yeah?
And maybe you should. Might save us all some money.
Help stop insurance fraud. Call 1-800-TEL-NICB. That's 800-835-6422. Sponsored by the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
$572-8255, and we have a winner in our weekly drawing. Our winner this week is Elsie Goodman of Griffin, Georgia. Miss Goodman, we congratulate you, and we'll be talking to you. We'll give you a call, get all the information, and tell you when you can expect this fine merchandise. If you'd like to enter for next week's drawing, you just send me a letter or a postcard. Ludlow Porch, 1601 West Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. Ludlow Porch, 1601 West Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. Now, if you send a letter, write contest on the outside so it gets routed to the right place, and we make sure your entry is there. Just that simple. Right back to the phone. Let's go to Newnan and talk to Ellis. Hello, Ellis.
Hey, Lewis.
How you doing, pal?
This is Ellis Darrington.
Yes.
Newnan, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how Lewis is doing.
Lewis getting a little better every day.
That's great.
Lewis doing fine.
Lord have mercy. I could tell you some things about Lewis because I'm just just 2 or 3 years older than Lewis. And I took up with Lewis one time. We were keeping a scoreboard down at Pickett Field in Newnan, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And Newnan Tigers then. And Lewis had a camera hung around his neck, believe it or not. And, we did call him, we called him Grizzard.
Uh-huh.
No joke, man. That's what the guys called him. And they called him Grizzard. They called him Lewis Gizzard. Joke, man. But they did do that in junior high school. Indeed. And I was keeping score. And Lewis was walking around with a camera around his neck and taking pictures. And the guy was wanting to give Lewis some problems or something of it, and I took up for Lewis. I did. Bless my heart. I did. I took up for Lewis, and I beat this boy up. But his brother beat me up. I ain't going to mention no names now right here in Newnan because some of these fellas are digging now.
And some are still in Newnan. They might come back, Ellis. You can't be too careful.
I know. There's 2 of the brothers still alive now, but the youngest brother's dead. The youngest brother is one that jumped on Lewis. I don't even know if Lewis remembers this or not, but it did happen at Pickett Field in Newnan, Georgia, right down on Wesley Street over there. It's football.
All right, well,
I took up for Lewis.
When I talk to him, I will mention that. I bet he does remember it. He doesn't, not much gets by him. You take care of yourself, Ellis. I'll be talking to you, big guy. Let's talk now to Betty on the radio. Hello, Betty.
Good morning, Ludlow.
How you doing?
This is my first time I've ever talked to you, but I've listened to you for a long, long time.
Well, we're glad you're with us.
What I want to ask you about, I've heard so much about wackos.
Yeah.
How do you become a member?
Oh, I think you're a member, Betty. We don't. The nice thing.
I feel like one.
Sure. The nice thing about the wackos is there's nothing to sign and there's no dues to pay. We don't elect any officers, and we don't hold any meetings.
Well, I went up there to your meeting one time and saw a bunch of them. What days do they meet? Do they just come?
Well, I never know. They just wander in and out of here. They Nothing official. They just, a bunch of them will get together and come up here and sit and have breakfast or have lunch.
Well, I like them because they're so friendly and just so jolly and just believe in having fun.
We need to put together a lunch up here some one day, kind of informal, just have some fun.
That's right. Too, do you have any more trips coming up?
Yeah. I'll let you know. Looks like we're going to have some kind of right after the first of the year. I'll let you know. We're working on the details now.
Okay. Another thing, I heard you talking about that movie, Falling Away, this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at my TV weekly, and it comes on tonight.
Are you kidding me?
It's on TMC at 6:30.
All right. Okay.
But I guess that's about all. And I'd like to talk to some of the wackos, like Kitty Little. How do I get her telephone number?
I don't know any way you could possibly get her telephone number.
Yeah, well, I knew you didn't give out telephone number.
Yeah, no, we couldn't do that.
I'll just find somebody up there sometime and talk to them.
Okay, my friend. You too. Yeah, that's the way to do it, is to come here and because they've got a telephone network and they're all in touch.
Okay.
News Talk 1010 WGUN Atlanta.
If you want to find out what a fella does when he can't get a real job, tune in the Ludlow Porch Show. If you want to get in on the fun, call him at 1-800-572-TALK. Now that's 1-800-572-8255. And now, here's Ludlow.
Welcome back, gang. And I hope you're having a great day. Hot as the dickens. Anywhere in the southeast you're listening, it is hot. But I'm glad you're getting some rain in Mississippi. We had a call from Macomb a few minutes ago, and it is raining over there. Congratulations. Let's get right back to the phones and talk to the Sergeant Major. Hello there. How you doing? Are you there, Sergeant Major? Sergeant Major had to leave us. Let's talk to Todd. Good morning, Todd.
Hey, Ludlow. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, my man. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Good.
Hey, I heard you talking about some bad guys, and I wanted to run one by you, or two by you.
All right.
One was old Vincent Price.
Oh, yeah.
He was a good spookster. I remember him in the Waxworks.
Oh, yeah. He made so many of those horror movies where he just played the sorriest no account ever. Yeah, you're right. That's a good nomination.
All right. I got sort of a question for you, too.
Okay.
See if you can answer this. What bad guy did James Earl Jones play? Super bad guy.
Darth Vader.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to bring him up. I was thinking about the bad guys, and that one came right across the top of my head.
Yeah, great one.
Wanted to run it by you, though.
All right, buddy.
Well, you have a good day, Luddy.
Todd, take care of yourself. I'll talk to you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Let's talk to Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Now, unless it's open line, I'll bow out because I don't know a cotton picking thing about movies.
Yeah, we would never, ever allow you to bow out. We're wide open, Sarah.
I say I don't mind replays. Nuts, I don't remember seeing them the first time. So, characters, forget it.
Yeah.
No, one thing that made me call, I was listening to the news and I hear about this horrendous fire where everything in town's burning up. But evidently at the beginning they told where it was, but they never tell where it is at the end.
Yeah, and you
go ape wondering if it was down the street or two in another country.
Looking for smoke.
Yeah. And, another thing, in the newspaper it'll say, and he lived in Diddy County.
Yeah.
What county? There's 165 counties in Georgia. I want to know the city he lived close to.
Yeah.
The county don't budge me. And the same with the names of cities. He was from Cleveland. Cleveland, Alabama, Tennessee, Ohio.
Or Georgia.
I'm dumb. They need to spell it out to me. And another thing, certain people, Ray Combs in particular on Family Feud, they will be telling you something and they get real confidential and you don't hear right at the punchline they get very low. You say, why do you say?
I hate that because you've been sitting listening to all the groundwork and then you miss the punchline.
Waiting for the punchline.
Yeah,
That's right. That leaves me cold.
Terrible.
It's not easy for me to understand things anymore anyway. I'm the only fool in town can get a wrong number on a push-button telephone.
No, you're not.
I'm telling you.
No, you're not.
A friend of mine's mother met you yesterday and was just enthralled. At Connect, is that where you were?
Yeah, sure, uh-huh.
Janie's mother.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know her name. I don't know Janie's maiden name.
Called?
But, she was thrilled to death. And let me tell you what she said.
What?
He is so much better looking in person than on TV or on his books, either one. She was just absolutely fascinated. So that's got to make your day.
Yeah, she came there and stayed a while, and I signed a book for her. She called herself Nanny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nice lady. I remember well.
Great lady. Well, I'm glad she got to see you because she's been wanting to so long.
Well, you take care of your sweet self.
I'm going to do that.
I'll be talking to you.
Right.
Bye-bye. 1-800-572-8255. Want to tell you who sells more Jeeps than anybody else. You know who that is? Anybody else. Anywhere. Jasper Jeep. Want to know why? A couple of reasons. Main reason, big reason is save you a lot of money. I mean, you walk in there and you just ask the price. First price you get is the price. That's right. Never going to change, never going to go up, and it's never going to go down. That way you can remain friends with the folks you're talking to. Just as simple. They want to sell you a Jeep, and you want to buy it. And there's never any reason to be upset, poop, or holler. I was reading an article in the paper today. Car sales, car repairs, top list of consumer complaints. All over, everywhere, complaints involving car sales and repairs once again top the national list of the most frequently complained about products and services. And the reason for that is there's so many folks out there all set and ready to trick you when you buy a car. Gang, that has never happened at Jasper Jeep, and it's never going to. No bull feathers ever. They want to sell you a car, but never, ever enough to lie to you. Now, they're going to save you money, and you got enough sense to know when they give you a price, it's the lowest one you've received. Then you just buy it. There's no hassle, no haggle, and as I said, no bull feathers. Different way to buy a car. Truly, going up there, you'll like the atmosphere, you'll like the people, and more, you're going to love the Jeep, and you're going to love the price. You tell them Ludlow sent you when you go in up there, and listen to this. No matter where you live in the Southeast, gang, your Jeep and Eagle dealership is in Jasper, Georgia.
I used to carjack all the time. It was easy, man. Just kind of sneak up on someone, point my gun, take the car. Carjacking was easy. But now people are wising up, locking their doors, rolling up windows and paying attention to what's going on around them, even parking in safer places. Man, it's not so easy carjacking anymore. They're even getting wise to one of my favorite tricks, bumping a car from behind. And when they get out to yell at me, one of my buddies takes off in the car. It was so easy. But now they don't even get out of the car. They just signal to me to follow and start driving to a well-lit area. Man, that's harsh. People are wising up. It's getting tougher out there.
McGruff here with tips on how to prevent carjackings. Remember, always look around, lock your doors, and roll up those windows. If you're threatened, give up your car. It's not worth your life. And report it to the police fast. Be smart and help me take a bite out of crime.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, Crime Prevention Coalition, and the Ad Council.
Hi there.
How you doing?
That movie that you're looking for with Robert Mitchum
Yeah,
is Night of the Hunter.
that's right. Okay.
And it was scary. I remember seeing that, and I was sitting there with another girlfriend and just scared to death. Of course, we were teenagers back then. Anything could scare teenagers sometimes. But
Really a scary
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he had love tattooed on one hand and hate on the other, on the fingers. And he put them together and said, fight of good and evil, hate against love. And he was supposedly a preacher.
Yeah, and he married Shelley Winters.
Correct.
And then killed her.
And put her down in a boat, and she was floating. Her hair was floating under the water.
Right.
Yeah.
Scary movie. Scary
Yeah,
movie.
it was. So it was Night of the Hunter.
I knew it wasn't Picnic, but I couldn't lay my tongue on that.
Yeah, I thought I'd help you out a little bit there.
You take care of yourself. Talk to you. 1-800-572-8255. Rodney is here. Hello, Rodney.
Hello
buddy.
How you doing, big guy?
I tell you, you're just wrong when you say that there are no bad guys named after states. You're just not looking in the right place.
Who?
Massachusetts, Ted. Ohio, Howard. Illinois, Dan.
Oh, you named some top guns there, sure enough.
Tennessee, Al.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Arkansas, Willie.
I love it. Very good.
That's about it.
Okay, buddy.
We'll see you later.
I was waiting for the punchline.
That was the punchline.
Call us again, Rodney. We love it. Be good. Let's talk to George. Good morning, George. How you doing?
Hey, Ludlow. It's nice to be back in the Atlanta area.
Well, we're glad to have you home.
I've been up in southern Ontario for a week and a half, and then in Niagara Falls, New York, and Canada for a week and a half.
Oh, you had a nice vacation?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was fantastic weather.
Good.
58 at night and sweater weather, and 75 for a high in the daytime.
I could take some of that myself, George.
It was a lot of fun.
Good.
I think the most beautiful place that I visited, besides the falls, was Niagara-on-the-Lake. It's a British settlement, and it has a lot of history there. Go ahead.
You mean a British settlement? You mean originally a British settlement?
Yeah, and these homes there are were built in the 17th and 18th century, and of course they're all refurbished, and a lot of bed and breakfast homes there. Beautiful, out of sight. We stayed there 2 nights.
Sound like a nice vacation.
Yeah, I brought a little bit of to cool all your listeners. I brought a little bit of Niagara Falls back. I went on a little different tourism tour. I take my own video with me, and I went underneath the falls to film it.
Mm-hmm.
You're really not supposed to be there because you can get in a lot of trouble, but I know I lived there 33 years. I know the route to go to film that, and I picked up some sound too. And could you listen to the sound? It might cool your people off that are listening if they're...
I bet it would sound a lot like running water.
Yeah, it's really, I picked it up pretty good.
Let's hear it.
Here it is.
Yeah? That's it, George. All right, buddy. Listen, you take care of yourself. I got to go to the bathroom now. 1-800-572-8255 is our number. Ludlow and Denny, and boy, we're having fun now. I've got, Denny, the greatest job in the world. There's just no question about it. 1-800-572-8255 is our number. Listen, do you realize that even in this hot weather, some people who have scheduled their vacation and they're painting at the same time, some people are having to get out in this 100-degree heat and paint their house? You just got in such shape that you just had to do it. Not going to happen to me this year or any other year. Let me tell you what I did. When I grew weary of the expense of painting my house in the mountains, weary of the ladders and the paint and the sweat, called my friends at Taylor Construction Company. Told them I wanted to come out, look at this, see if this was a practical thing to do, see if I could afford it. Sent somebody out, measured everything, and yeah, I couldn't afford not to do it. Saved me a bunch of problems away, out of my head, as a matter of fact, because I was where I'd heard all of these stories that you've heard about the slick siding salesman who will put your siding up and disappear forever, going to take his truck and his ladder and go on to the next town. Taylor Construction Company, been here 24 years. Warranties, second to none. 5-year warranty on labor, lifetime on material. Great selection of some of the finest material money can buy. And the good news is, and the surprising news is, that you can afford this. Absolutely. One 800-572-8255 as we talk to our buddy Lofty A-Frame. What do you say, Lofty? Lofty is not there? Lofty had to leave us. Well, he'll call back. I bet you. To get away from the bad guy, we'll talk about a good guy. I don't know how you feel about this guy, but David Brinkley has been one of my favorite news guys since way back in the Huntley days, and I watch his Sunday show just religiously, even in spite of Sam Donaldson. I watch this show. I really enjoy it. He's a guy David Brinkley, who never seems to get mad or upset. He's a very even-tempered guy. And apparently when you ask him a question, when you interview him, and I never have, but I'd like to, he's a straight shooter. There's a little article in the Atlanta paper this morning. Apparently he was in Atlanta yesterday for a speech, or at least an appearance. And here's some of the things he had to say. No mealy-mouth stuff. His view of CNN was, what they do, they don't do very well, but they do it all the time. But then he went on to admit that he keeps the television in his office on CNN, and it often knows, it being CNN, often knows more about news, about news a few minutes before he does. So he does admit that they're on top of the situation. When asked about Hillary Rodham Clinton's role as First Lady working on health care reform, he said, what a great answer. All men with wives would understand. And he goes on to say, would you have something that's really tough, something that's going to antagonize a lot of people? Mr. Brinkley said, dump it on your wife. What a guy. I hope he goes on forever. I don't know exactly the year, 56 maybe, when he was teamed originally with Chet Huntley, and both on NBC at the time, and went on to become an absolutely American tradition with their Goodnight Chet, Goodnight David thing. And since that time, he's changed networks, but he, in my opinion, has continually grown in stature. And I just like his style. You don't know whether he's a liberal or a conservative, and you're not supposed to know. Even when he's making comments, he's got a wry sense of humor. His eyes sparkle, and you never quite know what he's up to. A little half smile. I don't know whether you're watching that report every Sunday, but you ought to be. He is something. Denny wants me to. Somebody just got. Denny was talking to a caller and just got mad and hung up on Denny because Denny tried to tell him that he would have to go on the air to get his comments heard. He wanted to call Denny and make his comments to Denny. He didn't want to go on the air. Well, number one, Denny doesn't have time to hear your comments, fella. If you want to talk on the radio, call us. If you don't. Just that simple. Let's go to Cleveland and talk to Larry in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Hello, Larry.
Hey, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, old buddy. How you doing?
I'm still alive and I'm still breathing.
That's a good sign.
That counts for about 99% of it.
Good sign, Larry.
I just want to mention one name, but I really want to talk about Brinkley.
All right.
And one other thing, but Tom Hicks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I hadn't heard anyone mention him. I only started listening about 9:45, so I hadn't heard his name mentioned.
Well, we've been talking more about bad guys and good guys, and I guess Tom Hicks was probably the last word in a good guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really a good guy, and of course, Hopalong Cassidy was a favorite of mine, too.
Yeah, mine, too.
The other thing, two other things. One, they're talking about whether they should help these people up in the flood area with finances and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And saying they shouldn't be living in the area and weren't entitled to it and such as that. Well, what about these people that live in California in a earthquake zone? They shouldn't build the houses where they can have an earthquake then, but they've always helped them.
That's the nice thing about hindsight. It's got a 20/20.
Do what?
I say hindsight's always 20/20. It's easy to criticize.
Well, it's just a thing that kind of bothers me. But Des Moines is my hometown.
Well, you have every reason to be bothered. It bothers me, too.
That they talk that way about it. And people, maybe some of them are a little wanting to go back and live there, but that's where they want to live. And It's just the same as the people in California want to live where they may have an earthquake. They want to live, so, and they always get help, and there's never been anything said.
Yeah, hang on, Larry. I gotta take care of some business. I'll be right back. Stay with us. We'll get back to that. Larry wind up his comments right after this. This, that, and the other. But a lot of things you need to take care of yourself. You need to understand some things. You need to understand that the government can't and shouldn't be responsible for raising your children, for that sort of thing. That first, foremost, and primarily, that's your responsibility. We've got public schools that'll help you out, but it is your responsibility. Your children are your responsibility. Their education is your responsibility. We can help you. We're going to help you, but you got to be involved in it. You must know what's happening at your school, and if they need more education, give it to them at home, or get a tutor, or go to school and talk to the teacher, talk to the principal. But it's your responsibility. It's not the school's responsibility. See, that sounds radical. Isn't that funny? That sounds radical, that people should be responsible for their own mistakes. That we have forgotten that when you do good things happen to you. And when you do bad things happen to you. Wouldn't it be nice to have a politician that really believed that? And said, if you want me to go to Washington and procure a lot of government contracts for our state, I'm not going to do that. If you want me to go to Washington and promise you that I can give you a lot, I'm not going to do that. We're going to try to put government back where it was supposed to be. Be refreshing with it. 1-800-572, I'm pretty radical. 1-800-572-8255. Ludlow and Denny having a big time. Let me tell you some folks that always have a big time. And I'm talking...
I'm a traveling man, made a lot of stops all over the world. And in every port I open the heart of at least one lovely girl. I've a pretty senorita waiting for me down in old Mexico.
1-800-572-8255, Ludlow and Denny. And we talked to George about his vacation, and Denny just back from vacation too. And Denny made some slides that he has offered to share with us. Denny, could we see those slides now? That's a broken pipe in Denny's hotel room in Biloxi. Yeah, and that's another picture of the same broken pipe from a different angle. And that's the broken pipe after it was fixed. Short vacation, but a memorable one. 1-800-572-8255. Don't forget, on the 28th of this month, our special guest is going to be the one and only Woody Duck. Woody will come in here and answer all of your pin-up questions about birds. Everything from where are my hummingbirds to what happened to my bluebirds. So he'll be here. It's always fun when he comes in, so you be listening for that. And don't forget our super-duper drawing that we have every Friday. Big prize. Easy to win. Nothing to do. No jingles to write. Nothing to buy. Just send me your name, address, and a telephone number on a postcard or in a letter. And we're going to draw them out. Denny will about 10:30, 11 o'clock on Friday. And if he draws you out, you're going to win an allergy-free permanent electrostatic air filter. You know you've been wanting one of these. And it's going to make your life better. You're also going to win an allergy-free filter for your car. Normally when you think about a filter, you think about something under the hood. This plugs right into the cigarette lighter. And just...
You do everything you can to protect your child.
A road, got chicken houses, and they spill this stuff up and down the road. My dogs leave home when I drive in with my car. It's awful.
Yeah, plus the bad part about it is, as a rural mail carrier, you've got to have the window down on your car about 99% of the time.
Yeah, you sure do. And you have to smell that stuff, and I am telling you, whew, it's terrible.
Okay, it sounds like it would be a great time of the year for a rural mail carrier to take a vacation.
Yeah, I'm going to do that next week. I'm going to Bill Shores next week.
All right.
That sounds good. Lud, you know, you and Denny just let me down about getting rid of my puppies as trivia prizes. But I want you to know I found homes, good homes for every one of those puppies.
How many did you have?
Tell Denny to quit that.
Well, I see we plan to give those away next week.
Well, I've got another one. Lud, I tell you about the little dogs that somebody brought me when I got the hair trimmed off of it. She was blind.
Yeah.
She is the cutest thing, and she knows exactly where she is now. She can go in and out the dog trap, on the porch, and she follows me, and she plays, and you just cannot believe how cute that little thing is. Totally blind.
I don't know how cute the dog is, but I know the dog is lucky to have found you.
She is. Oh, I want to tell you something else.
All right.
You know, we as rural carriers a lot of times have problems with shoulders because we have to put so many letters in the case and so many out the windows to mailboxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found for any of those rural carriers out there that have this problem, if they will find a good masseur therapist and get them to treat them with friction therapy, it hurts like the devil, but it will cure that arm.
And it's called
friction therapy. I have a masseur therapist here in town who works with the Olympic athlete, and she is fantastic. Her name is Jean.
Are you telling me that leaning out of your car window, putting mail in the box, gives you shoulder problems?
Yeah, when you've got 700 boxes and you're putting, and on top of that, that's not the worst part. It's standing there casing all those letters you might have from 1,000 to 2,000 letters every day. You've got to stick up in the case, and that continuous work will ruin your shoulder after so many years.
I can see that.
Yeah, and I have had a terrible time, and I've had to stop cortisone, and I know there are a lot of these rural carriers, and this was a new thing that I heard about, and it is wonderful. It has just done miracles. So any rural carrier out there that's having problems, tell them to check this out.
It is called, what, friction therapy?
Friction therapy. It's got to be a very good, it's not just somebody that does massage, but a masseur therapist. We're lucky to have one, like I say, that works with the Olympic athletes here.
Sounds painful.
It is. It hurts. But and I thought, she's killing me. I won't ever be able to use my arm again. And it's nearly well now.
Good.
Isn't that great? Ludlow, you just have the greatest day.
You do the same.
Keep it cool, hon.
And call us when you can.
I'll do it.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We need to ease on out of here, but I want to remind you that tomorrow is our catch-up day. The Wackos will all be here. So you be here. Incidentally, might be a good day for you to come to the Falcons Inn in Swanee. A lot of the football players are here. All of them will be here tomorrow, and in this general area, and have a good lunch. Fun place to be. I'll be right back with you at 9 o'clock. Between 9 and you do me a favor. Whatever else you do today, you find somebody to be nice to. See you tomorrow.
Just can't wait to hear Ludlow again. The life I love is here in Ludlow with my friends, and I can't wait to hear Ludlow again. Ludlow again. Just can't wait to hear Ludlow again. The life I love is here in Ludlow with my friends, and I can't wait to hear Ludlow again. Ludlow again. That band Wacko goes out on the airwaves. They're the best of friends.
Lively conversation about issues that affect you. It's Pat Buchanan and Company from noon to 3 on Atlanta's newest news talk station.